Could self-care be your superpower? Mm. Well, let's figure this out, right? So, who would have thought that me, Dr. Tamara Beckford, an emergency medicine physician, would be here talking about self-care? Let me tell you something. Now, those of you guys, you kind of have an idea of the whole path that it takes to become a doctor, right? You have the high school, and then you go to college, and then you go to medical school, then you do your training and residency, and then it's real life, right? Now, one of the things about this whole process is that you're going, 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 going. For those of you guys who remember P. Diddy, can't stop, won't stop, well, that's me, just going, going, going. And then I'm in emergency medicine. For those of you who've ever been in the ER, one thing about it, it's another process of just go, go, go. When I get on shift, there are patients that's been there and my colleagues step off and I step off. When I'm there, I go, go, go. When I leave, there are patients that's still coming in. I step off, the next colleague steps on. The ER is 24 hours a day. It's 7 days a week. It's 365 days of the year of just nonstop. So we're going, going, going. I and my family had this wonderful vacation planned. 2019, November, we were just ready to go on vacation in March. Now, for those of you who are Golden Girls fan, picture this, March 2020, ready to go on vacation with my family, going back to my island of Jamaica, where I was born, where my husband's born, bringing the kids there for the first time, right? Oh, I tell you, I can taste a jerk chicken. I get a taste of oxtail, the ackee and saltfish, and washing it down with some cool, refreshing coconut water. Then boom, pandemic. Don't leave the country. As a matter of fact, don't leave your house. Most of you were quarantined, but those of us like me who worked in the ER, boom, had to keep going, right? And then I had to realize that if I just kept going like that, I would not make it. I need to figure out another way to do this thing. And in comes self-care, right? So I started looking around and I recognized a lot of my colleagues are getting burnt out. Why? They're going and going and going. So I decided that now that we're shut down, right? Now that people are buying their Peloton bikes because everybody's ready to work on their body from the outside in, I'm going to work on mine from the inside out. And that's how I began incorporating self-care, right? Self-care there are 3 pillars to this whole thing. It's aligning your mind, your body, and your spirit, right? So for me, working on my mind from the inside out was very important, right? It's just something different when you wake up and you're reading your email, reading social media, reading the text message from your family, that's just getting you very upset. And you are responding, you're not responding. And as a matter of fact, you are just reacting to everything. Everybody's getting on your nerves, they're pissing you off. That's the opposite of entering into your day. So I decide to do it the other way around. When I wake up, I am inputting positive information into my mind. I'm putting devotionals, I'm doing gratitude practice as soon as I wake up, before the phone messages, before the social media, before the email from my job asking me, where is this particular thing? I don't know. I didn't take it. Why are you asking me? You're getting me upset. So do I want to go through my day being pissed off, or do I want to go through my day knowing that I'm in charge of how my mind works, right? That's self-care. So I invest in my mind. Motivation, inspirational, quotes, stories. There's just a difference in your mind and the way you approach your day when you're reading the inspirational story of Michael Todd talking about crazy faith and how he got the keys to the transformational church in Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? Your day is just different when you enter into your day after hearing the motivational stories of Lisa Nichols when she was told that she was the worst writer in her class. And then she moves from that to becoming a best-selling author of multiple books. Really? Now, when you have all of that in your mind, you are entering into your day. Your day does not enter into you. So you use that and build that foundation for your day. That's part of the self-care. So that's working on the mind. Now we know self-care is alignment of mind, body, and spirit. So we've talked about the mind. Now we're going to talk about the body, right? So self-care incorporates movement. Now you notice I did not say exercise, and I was intentional. Now some of you got your Peloton bikes, right? Your team Cody, right? Cody is talking about the 8-8-8, right? 8 ounces of water, make sure you get 8 hours of sleep every day, and you're drinking those 8 ounces of water 8 times a day, girl. Is that you, Team Cody, or are you a Team Tunde, where she's just giving all this motivation before she gets on that bike and you get that ride of your Peloton life, right? Or maybe your movement just incorporates getting your family, walking around the block, right, briskly, and spending time with your family, right? Is that your movement? Movement is just so important. Why? Many of you guys were stuck on Zoom. You were stuck in Zoom meetings from the morning till night. You just went Zoom crazy. Well, how do we combat all of that? Movement, right? Movement is so important because it releases all those beautiful endorphins, those beautiful hormones. It's that runner's high that you get, but you don't even need to run. Some of you, like I said, with Team Peloton, but the other you, maybe your movement was not just organic exercising, but dancing. What about the soca people? Yes, all my West Indian passe, all my people of the soca, or maybe you were zouk, right? All my Haitian masse, were you zouking? Or were you there doing all those other dance, like for me, the dance hall? Yes, getting that heart rate up, right? Getting that sweat, all of that helps to release those beautiful hormones, endorphins. And it's so important. It's important that we know that exercise, it is so important that the American Heart Association, it recommends 150 minutes of exercise per week. 150 minutes. So you don't have to do it in the standard way, going to the gym. Maybe you're running. Maybe you're biking. Maybe you're dancing, like we said. Any way that it is, get that movement in. Release those endorphins. It's also important because it helps with another part of self-care, which is sleep. But we'll talk about that another time, right? So now we have talked about the body. We've talked the importance of movement. Now let's get to the third pillar of self-care, which is alignment of the spirit. Now I know you're sitting there thinking, what? Spirit? What is she talking about? All right, let me tell you this. Let's get back to Sophia from the Golden Girls. Picture this. I not only work in the emergency room, but I only work at night. So I work night shift only. So one of the last shifts of my week is usually on Wednesdays. Now, if anybody has like not heard of Wednesday being Hump Day Wednesday, you have had your head in the sand. Wednesdays traditionally have been one of the most challenging days of a work week, and mine is no different. I finished working that Wednesday morning. I get my kids from school the Wednesday afternoon. But one of the most pleasant days of my week is Wednesdays because I have this thing that I look forward to. I get to meet up with like-minded people every Wednesday evening. That renews my spirit, right? So although I'm the most tired on Wednesdays, I have something to look forward to. Yes, I get to bond with people who are like-minded people who are just as crazy as I am. Now, everyone else looks at me like I'm crazy, but these people look at me like, you too? Yes, that's the alignment of spirit, right? So, do you have people who are thinking like you, who are going places like you? You know that your network is your net worth, right? So, who are you aligned with? That's the spirit portion of the self-care process, right? So, on Wednesdays, stressed out. By Wednesday night, feeling fine. Why? Alignment of spirit. Now, being able to align your spirit does not mean that I'm sitting here and judging you for those who you were hanging out with. No, but you do have to ask yourself this question. How have you felt over this past month? And how have you been aligning and who have you been aligning yourself with? Are these the people that are getting you towards where you want to be, or are they people who are getting you to the past where you did not want to be, right? No judgments. This is for you to decide on your own, because self-care is really a process. It's internal. It's a process to restore your mind, body, and spirit to get you to the next phase in your life. And that's why it's your superpower, right? So if you would like a guide to help you starting on this self-care process, I invite you to download my free self-care starter kit, and you'll see the information right at the bottom of this screen, right? Self-care is your superpower. Self-care can get you there. If self-care got me, who am an ER doc, in the middle of the pandemic, where my colleagues are looking at me and saying, why are you so zen? And I say to them, because I practice what I preach, right? Aligning my mind, my body, and my spirit. Now remember, self-care is one of the most important assets that you can provide for yourself. And therefore, you can be there for others, right? You are your most important assets. And therefore, on this journey, you need to decide, are you going to tap into your superpower? Now, you might be wondering, well, what's next for her? Stay tuned.